Peace be to you all. Assalamualaikum. This is Omar Abdul Malik, physician associate, health educator, moderately fit distance runner, among other things. So, it is Friday, so Juma Mubarak, happy Juma to you. Today, I thought I'd just share some thoughts that I had whilst running. So, I have a long run planned for Sunday, inshallah. So I'm going to try to do 20 miles. But the way I'm feeling, I don't know if I can do that. So that segues to my topic. Today I did a tempo run of 7 miles, and it is unseasonably warm. I'm sitting here in the sun, actually, so I can have good lighting for the video. But it took me 1 hour, 15 minutes to run a measly 7 miles. It usually doesn't take me that long to do this route. It goes from my house down to Howard University School of Medicine, and then back up to my house up to Georgia Avenue. But it took a lot out of me, and the heat got to me, and I started to doubt myself. If you follow me on YouTube or Instagram, you'll know that I'm training for my first ultra marathon. It's the JFK 50 miler in November. I will be 54 years old, Lord willing, inshallah. And I really started to doubt myself as I got about halfway through this particular run. I had to slow down. As usual, my son was way ahead of me. 17, soon to be 18-year-old son's way faster than me. But I started to doubt, like, God, if the weather's like this, I don't know if I can make it. It's going to be too hot. What am I going to do at 30 miles, and I have another 20 miles to run? And I had to kind of encourage myself. I say, well, Omar, I talk to myself a lot. It drives my wife crazy, but she's stuck with me all these years. I had to tell myself, like, look, you're going to do it the way you've done everything else in life. You're going to struggle with it. But you're going to take it one step at a time. And if perchance you don't happen to finish, it won't be because you didn't try. There's things that I have not accomplished in my life, but it's not because I didn't try. I tried. It didn't work out. It wasn't God's will, or qadr, what we say in Islam, and that's okay. It led to some really wonderful opportunities for me. And I say that to say to those of you all who have goals and aspirations, when they don't work out the way you want them to, try to do something else. Don't become so crestfallen that you just look down on yourself. My wife and I were looking at this old video of Eliud Kipchoge. He's the famed marathon runner. He ran under a 2-hour marathon. First person to ever do that, ever in a century. The century of marathon running. He ran a 1:59 in some seconds. And people have written papers in the past saying that it was physically impossible for a human being to run that fast. But he did it. He did it. And he got into marathon running because he didn't make the Olympic track team for his country, for Kenya, some years back. So he got into running the marathon. Now, had he made the track team, maybe he would have been a subpar track person. He would have just taken fourth in the Olympics or things like that, instead of being what's considered the greatest marathon runner of all times, and set a whole new standard in human achievement. What's humanly possible. So you just got to keep try doing different things. I talked to some of you all that were trying to get into medical school and didn't get in. I said, well, try again, or try the Caribbean schools if you feel so inclined. Some of you all have tried to get into PA school for the third and fourth time. One guy tried 5 times, still hasn't gotten in. There's other things out there, guys. You might become a stellar physical therapist or occupational therapist. or you can be a nurse practitioner. There's other things that you can do to help yourself, support yourself, and then serve your community and serve mankind, and serve in the medical field. And understand that you're always going to have detractors. That's a nice way of saying trolls. You know, if you become a PA, there's going to be people that are going to be like, oh yeah, but you're still not a doctor. Well, it's fine. I'm okay with that. If you become a doctor, they're going to say, yeah, but you're just an internist. Or, ah ha ha, you had to go to the Caribbean school or something. Or you're not a real doctor, you're a doctor of osteopathy or a chiropractic physician. There's always going to be detractors. You have to believe in what you're doing and believe in yourself. That's all there is to it. And since it's Black History Month, I always find it ironic that that's the shortest month of the year. It's like, look, my kids and I were talking about this. If they, quote unquote, just include us in American history, in world history, the way we should be in history books, we black folks, there won't need to be a Black History Month. I'd actually prefer that. But that's the way it is. And I told my kids, they're transitioning into young adulthood now. They're looking at, finishing college and going on to other degrees and getting their own places and so forth. But all this, a lot of talk about racism and equality and diversity in the workplace and discrimination and all that stuff. I said, look, guys, some people are going to discriminate against you for the color of your skin, others are not. That's all there is to it. It's very difficult to discern now, especially in this age of PC culture. Nobody's going to come out and say, hey, Negro, you can't come to this college, or you can't, work at this job. Well, you may find yourself not hired for certain positions or something like that. Move on. I mean, try to focus, as I tell them all, focus on ultimately creating your own job, your own industry. Again, some people will discriminate against you for the colors of your skin, some won't. That's life. That's life. You can't just beat yourself up and make excuses for yourself. There's a lot of talk about diversity in school and higher education. If you get into an Ivy League school, then there's going to be white folks that'll be saying, hey, you just got here because of affirmative action. Then you show them your scores. No, I outscored you and almost everybody else. Well, you probably got some special Negro treatment. Then if you go to an HBCU, well, the HBCUs aren't as good as the Ivy League. Okay, what's your point? What's the point you're trying to make here? You can't win with certain people. If by win you mean you're trying to get them to agree with you, that's not going to happen. And I personally think that that's a good thing, to not have everybody agree with you. But you have got to know that you have pushed yourself to your utmost. If things don't work out the way you'd like for them to, move on to something else. Don't make excuses. Adapt, overcome, and have contingency plans to the best of your ability. That's it for now. It is really, I think it's going to go up to possibly 70 degrees here. I'm here in DC. But if you guys have any desire to be PAs or any interest in the healthcare fields, I interview people in other healthcare jobs. I'm a PA. It's the #1 job in America, according to U.S. News and World Report. So it's been a great 20-plus year career. I've enjoyed it. And I'm also a health educator. So I'm actually trying to segue more into lifestyle intervention as I push the big 6-0. But if you're interested in that, you can I'll extol some of my advice upon you if you so desire. And if you want to subscribe, I'd invite you to. If not, that's cool too. But I wish you guys peace, success, and health. Take care. Bye.